What is going on, my Guardian Gamers? Is I, Birdman, back with another Destiny 2 video. And today I kind of want to do something different, bit of a rant style video, kind of just talking about our current stasis and how everything works in regards to it, and why I am in like a desperate need for like a more 3.0, like absolute huge overhaul, a lot of things added, update to stasis. But before I get into that, know you can follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Birdman778. Give a thumbs up on this video if you agree with my take and everything like that. Let me know something down below in the comment section that I should cover, whether it's Titan, Hunter, Warlock, subclasses, whatever. Subscribe and become a member. Now, let's get right on into it. So right before Season of the Wish started, we were given this this week in Destiny, kind of talking about all the new things that are going to be coming into the game, especially in the realm of stasis as well. We had always been hinted that there was going to be some tune-ups and stuff like that, and I think people were expecting a whole hell of a lot more added in, and unfortunately ended up being like more just like a general update, going over a lot of things within all the different characters themselves, like little essentially just like buffs to existing pieces of stasis rather than really adding anything to it. This I really can't complain about, is a good thing. It is a buff to this existing subclass and the way it is, but I really just was a little disappointed, kind of hoping for a bit more out of that rather than just some tune-ups. But at the end of the post in regards to stasis, they added this little section here that reads, "These aren't the only changes for stasis that we have in the works, and we have some long requested changes for a future release that we'll discuss once they're closer. Here's a quick sneak preview. A new stasis keyword we've tentatively calling Frost Armor, aimed at addressing some of the player feedback regarding survivability when running stasis, particularly when not running Whisper of Rime or Whisper of Chains. Additional tuning changes and reworks to existing stasis fragments, additional behavior to harvest aspects." Now, all those things are absolute positives, and it makes me really excited to see the fact that they are like, okay, stasis isn't getting enough love, it doesn't have any extra like passive abilities and things added onto it enough to really help out and incentivize the player to use the said subclass. Unfortunately, stasis was kind of the infant guinea pig of the whole 3.0 subclass like model that you can see here. When before we were kind of forced into certain ways of playing based on what essentially Bungie had created at the time, we were able to essentially get just all those pieces individually and be able to work with them as we see fit. And again, they were introducing stuff such as aspects that are going to kind of give you, again, those like passive abilities and stuff like that. But currently for stasis, we are kind of shoehorned into, you know, 4 basic ones. But unfortunately, a lot of them have to do with like kind of niche gameplay and stuff like that. And I was kind of hoping for something just like a little bit expanded upon that, especially when it comes to our regular abilities. First off, when it comes to like Titan example, you know, we're Titan main on this channel. We're going to mainly kind of use this as our example, but Rally Barricade and Towering Barricade, it would have been really cool to like see like something else where like maybe we like froze the ground around us rather than doing anything like defensive, more of an like an actual like offensive or kind of like zoning type of barricade would have been really cool to see. It's something that, again, I'm more projecting my own ideas onto this rather than anything, you know, super concrete, but just an example of the fact that like when we got Arc 3.0, we were able to get the new thrust ability as well. So again, something like that where it's just like not just the basic 2 pieces there. Moving on to like the jumps and stuff, I don't think this really needs to change at all. I feel like they've gotten like the movement part down pretty well, but when it comes to like melees and stuff like that, unfortunately in all 3 classes we are shoehorned into one specific strike, and unfortunately for Shiver Strike, it's not that great. I don't really like it at all. It's cool for like movement and stuff like that, I guess, but the fact that 99% of the time I'm going to slide through the enemy that I'm pointing at is super frustrating. So again, being able to expand upon that and give us something else, whether it's just like a punch on the ground, kind of like we see Elsie Bray do in the little cutscene where she like punches the ground, everyone freezes. That'd be really freaking cool to see something like that. But again, I think like Hunter has the shuriken. Those are really great. Be cool. Maybe like a kunai where like you kind of throw it like the lance like Titan has would be really neat. And then Warlock, couldn't really tell you. Theirs is pretty great too. But something else where it's not just that one basic piece With the 3.0 subclass, it's supposed to be very, open and build crafty and stuff like that. So not being able to really build craft all the time with this specific subclass really stinks. And when it comes to grenades, honestly, I do feel like they have a good spread on this, but anything else that they could add would always be a positive in my mind. Now, when it comes to fragments, obviously in that post, they talk about the fact that they are going to be tuning those up, and I think that's a really good idea, because essentially these 5 here that I'm showing off are the main ones most people use on their builds, because they just have the best spread of damage, ability, and durability. I would like to really see that, just because I would like to have more options. Obviously, again, as a build crafter, I got plenty of builds on my channel for multiple different games. I like to be able to test and do new things. So having, again, just that expanding upon it is really positive. And we can just like really quick talk about exotics in the same way. It's really cool though that they have been like addressing the fact that, okay, this subclass hasn't gotten as much love as the first base 3. Strand obviously is kind of in the same boat as Stasis, where it doesn't have that many, but Stasis has kind of been able to learn from everything on its own and be a good subclass just from the get-go. Again, big reason why I think Stasis needs to have a lot more eyes on it from Bungie's side, updating it and giving it that love, because again, they've had now essentially 4 subclass additions or updates since then. This one could obviously use a whole lot of love. But again, talking about those exotics themselves, I think they've done a great job kind of like playing into different stuff here. Cadmus Ridge Lance Cap is obviously a really beneficial one, and then also Horror Frost that was added during Witch Queen was a really cool one. Again, playing around with those things, and definitely the fact that this season especially, we have an artifact that is focused into that. Now, unfortunately, I do think Stasis kind of got, somewhat forgotten in a way, just because they also were adding in things involving Strand and Solar. The Solar edition was kind of shocking to me, that they how hard they went into the Solar part, while also promoting that this was going to be a Stasis updated Stasis Love season. They did do that. It's just an interesting choice in my mind. Now, as we've gone through all this stuff, again, we are noticing that Bungie is looking at Stasis and is wanting to update it. But I guess me personally, I was kind of hoping that I was going to be able to go into this 6 months of nothingness with a better Stasis update. It is going to be kind of interesting coming out of this season, especially with how aggressive this artifact has played into Stasis and made it way better, way more fun. But again, I hope that whatever update we get is, kind of juicy enough that I won't really notice that coming into the final shape. Again, definitely hope that they continue to make really awesome exotics for Stasis, especially for the fact that, again, going into the episodes and everything post final shape, they're going to really have to be on their game, updating the game and being able to just make it feel like a new, interesting process. Again, hopefully Stasis is looking good going into the final shape. But guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you really enjoy it. Make sure you're giving a thumbs up on the video. Let me know something you're interested in seeing down below, subscribing, becoming a member, and follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Birdman778. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.